Hey guys, this is Oliver from Tech Life. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the JBL Link Portable. We have it right here. This speaker just came out in December 2019. I'm really excited about it as it has a lot of extra features that usually Bluetooth speakers don't have. So in this review, I will give a quick intro to the main features of this speaker, a walkthrough through all of its kind of buttons and so on, ports. And then I'll move on to the good, the bad, and then also in-depth walk through the app, what kind of options do you have, how does it work. And all of this will be on the timeline, just in the comments, in the bottom, you can just scroll through whatever area you're interested in. So yeah, so let's just go straight to the review. Okay guys, so let's just start just by showing the speaker itself and how it works. So the whole speaker is covered on this very nice kind of textile material. And we have a light here in the front, and this is just a Wi-Fi indicator, just tells whether it's connected to Wi-Fi or not. And then we also have some kind of hidden LEDs here on the top that are typical of a Google Assistant. We also have a few buttons here in the top. So we have a middle button here, an assistant button, that when clicked shortly, it will play or pause music. If you press it for longer than 2 seconds, it will actually activate the Google Assistant. But that's not really necessary, as you can just use your voice. Then we also have a plus and minus button for the volume, and that's the only thing it does. Long pressing it will just slowly increase the volume, there's no next button in this case. But then again, you can use your voice for that. And you have 2 microphones also at the top. Here in the side, we get the battery indicator here, which is kind of in the format of a bar. And just by clicking any button, it will show up the amount. So as you can see, I have about 80% there. This bar will slowly reduce as I use the battery. And the battery life is about 8 hours. So it should be plenty, especially considering you can just leave it on the dock. So it's pretty much always charged. This speaker uses a USB Type-C, which is really nice to see. And yeah, so if we just walk through the buttons, we have a power button, which you just press shortly and it will turn on or off. We have the mute button here that when clicked,
the mic is muted.
It will say the mic is muted, and it will show here in the top display showing that it is muted. You can also hold the mute button for 10 seconds, and that will completely factory reset your speaker so that you can connect it to a new home, or if there's some issues with it, it will do that. And then there's also a Bluetooth button that you can just click shortly for one tap on it. And that will start the Bluetooth pairing process. You can see this by these blue lights, which are just slowly moving from one side to another. Otherwise, here in the back, you don't really have lights except for the battery and the power indicator. And that means that sometimes when you click these buttons, you don't really know what is happening unless you turn it around. But yeah, so in the bottom, we have this kind of a connector, and that is what allows the base to work, this kind of charging base. The good thing about this charging base is you can just put it in any direction. It can be in 4 different ways, and this will kind of charge the device very nicely. It's not magnetized, but it does sit there quite well. The base is very simple. It's pretty much just a USB port in here and a hole for the cable to come out, and then just these 2 pins that pass the power through to the device itself. If you prefer, you can also just connect directly into the USB Type-C port, and that will also charge the device. And yeah, by simply saying, hey Google, what time is it?
It's 2:41.
So as you can see, you have a full-on Google Assistant here. If I ask, hey Google, what's the weather tomorrow?
In Copenhagen tomorrow, there will be showers with a high of 6 and a low of 4.
So yeah, as you can see, there is a lot of functionality here, just as you would expect from a Google Assistant. The only thing I've noticed that doesn't really work is the Google Duo for calling. That works flawlessly on any of the Google devices, but it does not work here. Hey Google, call Oliver Charity.
Making an audio call to Oliver Charity on Duo. Sorry, something went wrong. Try again in a few seconds.
So yeah, so let's just start talking about the good about the speaker. So definitely the build quality is super good. The feature set is really nice. It's super cool to have a dock, so that means that you can really use it as a home assistant all the time at home, but you can also leave it there and take it easy with you, and the battery will always be charged. The battery life is pretty decent at 8 hours, considering it uses Wi-Fi and all this. It's really, really nice. And also just the portability, this is really easy to just put in a rucksack, bring it with you, maybe even bring the dock and the cable as well. So if you have somewhere to put it, that's pretty nice. You can also group this through speakers, just through the Google itself. So you can actually play music all around your house, this one included, just through the group play of Google. Another great thing about the speaker is just the sound quality. It has nice bass, nice mids and highs. If you're really into speakers, it's not going to be as good as a Sonos speaker or some other kind of proper speakers for the home, but it would be like very similar to just the Google Home. Definitely way better than a Home Mini or a Home Mini Hub. And yeah, so now to just talk a little bit of the bad things about the speaker. So one thing is that the startup is pretty slow. If you click the power button, it takes 35 seconds before the speaker is fully ready to be used. Hey Google, how are you?
I'm as happy as Larry, thank you very much.
However, the speaker will always be on its base and it will be on and ready. So it's very rarely that you have to wait to use the speaker. Another bad thing is that you cannot use the speaker for Bluetooth calls on the phone. If you try, when you connect it via Bluetooth, it will just disappear when you actually try to go into a call or so on. And then here in the audio, you do not get any options to use them on. Also, it does not work with Google Duo. Then another thing is that every time you move homes, you go to a different place with a different Wi-Fi, you'll have to reconfigure the speaker, and that can take around 2 minutes every time to do it. And if you're not in the same Wi-Fi, all the devices, it might create some issues. And then another thing is this being a Google Assistant, I've tried choosing the volume up and down by saying, "Hey Google, volume 2." And when I do this, it does change the music for the music that is playing, but it does not change the volume of the assistant itself on the device. So that means that you can only regulate the volume of the assistant by pressing the buttons, which is a little bit inconvenient. Another thing is just the lack of buttons for next and previous. It would be nice, you have to use your voice for that. So that means that if you're out and about, you cannot not actually change the track without using your phone. So yeah guys, so I hope this was some useful information. Now let's just go through the in-depth look through the mobile app and just show you kind of what is possible to do with the speaker through the app. Okay guys, so here we have the Google Home app. That's how you're going to interact with your speaker. It's the only app that works. JBL Connect does not work. You will not be able to use this device with other JBL products, except if it's exactly the JBL Link with the Google Assistant system. So you have all your regular, settings for your things. These will have some kind of impact on your device depending on how you like your things, which music streaming service is your default, etc. You can see all the different devices that are in your house. And as you can see, there's JBL speaker. So that is how you access the speaker and everything you can do. As you can see, you can change volume here. And by doing that, it changes in the device itself, as you can hear. If I play music, it will also show the name here, so that's pretty nice. If you click settings, that's where you can see all the settings of the speaker itself. So you can give it a name, and whatever name you choose here, it will also change the Bluetooth name, the name everywhere. So that's pretty nice, also on the Chromecast and the Apple AirPlay. And then you can give it a home, you can say what room it is in, you can set it in a group of speakers so that you can use it together with other speakers so they're all playing the same music on the same time. And you can also choose the Wi-Fi, you can forget Wi-Fi, etc. You can use things like digital well-being, block the speaker certain hours of the day or so on, just to make sure that you relax. You can also correct group delay, you know, in case it's a little bit off time with the other speakers, like, but I haven't really experienced that myself. You can also tell what is the default speaker when using the assistant of this one. So you could actually even, you know, link it to your TV or to a home hub or another device and then play music through that. So you, in that case, you're only using this speaker as a Google Assistant and not actually to play the music. You can also choose, you know, default TV, like if it's something to do with TV, where should it cast it to? You can also set night mode so that the volume gets lower, the brightness gets lower, and it doesn't like bother you in the evening. You can also turn on do not disturb so that it's not going to do things like that. You can choose whether it should do a sound in the start and end of using the device, which is pretty useful. And you can also choose whether when you use the assistant, whether it lowers the volume so you can better hear what the assistant is saying. You can also add Bluetooth devices here, and as you can see, it kind of remembers the different Bluetooth devices you chose. Of course, it can only be connected one device at a time, so you will have to ask Google to unpair and pair and disconnect and so on. I'll show that further on in the video. And yeah, and we can also choose a little bit about restrictions, also whether we want voice match. So if you use voice match, if I say what is on my calendar, it will give back my calendar, but if somebody else with a different voice asks, it will say that they do not have access to listen to calendar. If they have their calendar connected, then it will of course read their calendar, so that's pretty useful. But as you can see, not so much settings, not so much you can really change here, but still a nice way of getting this done. Okay guys, so now just a quick sound test. This is starting at 50% volume.
She'll like the man. Oh, she's like an animal. It's in her blood. She will turn every chain into dust. Into dust.
Okay guys, so to conclude, I think this is a really great little speaker. It will not be good for everyone. I think if you don't really use much like a speaker at home, like with Wi-Fi and so on, there are better speakers around that might give you more flexibility, you know, being able to connect multiple Bluetooth devices into one speaker. Also, there won't be these problems of having to like wait for the speaker to start up, etc. But overall, for maybe you who already have like a Google ecosystem in your house of assistants and so on, I think this is a really good way of getting another Google Assistant in your house, but a Google Assistant that can also be used for other things. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review. Thank you for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys on the next one.